Hey everybody, Eric here in the garden. Still doing a lot of the pruning. The last video we talked about height, but I do want to quickly show you some differences in terms of the different bushes. You can see these have been done. Some are easy, like this Let Freedom ring. It was just a matter of how many canes do I want to take out. So again, the classic one is anything crossing, anything smaller than a pencil, kind of trim it down. Again, I'm aiming for 3 to 4 feet. So this bush was pretty easy. You can see these, I don't know if you can tell in the video, but huge, probably 2 or 3 times the size of a normal pencil. And it comes down to these. So as far as getting a pencil width cane, pretty easy. Same thing on this Affirm. But then you come to crystalline. I don't know if any of these are bigger than the size of a pencil. A lot of these are quite small. And so if you went down on the bush to find pencil size, you'd be all the way down there. So a bush like this, I'm not too concerned with trying to go down to pencil size width. I just kind of take a light trim off the top. And again, your standard principles will apply. For example, with this one, I had a really healthy cane here, just a beautiful one. I hated to cut it, but it was crossing with this other one, and you can actually see the damage as this focuses. Let me make sure this is focused in on. You can see some of the damage caused to the cane itself from the rubbing. So in this case, anything crossing I take out. But generally speaking, just barely trim the tops of these bushes. On this side of crystalline, I haven't done it yet, but I'll often look for where 2 or 3 canes come in, and my cut will be made somewhere down here. So I'm not taking off more than maybe a foot of a 3.5 to 4 foot bush, so I'm not taking off much at all. So the whole point of this video is sometimes you have to break some of the rules in terms of how you're going to do things. And what I mean by that is a bush like this that doesn't really produce huge canes until you get low in the bush. I don't want to be hacking this bush down all the time. Marlin's Day, some of these other ones, okay, I've got some bigger canes to work with, and I can certainly do that. So hopefully by the next video that I do, I'll have the rest of this bed done. These beds are looking pretty good. In terms of pruned up, this looks fantastic. This is Hot Princess, and you can see a lot of canes, and leaving them a little long. If I need to come back, I'll have some room to do that as we get into the spring of 2020. Hard to imagine we're saying that. So I've got a lot of margin of error here if I need to. And you can see on these cuts, try to pick out a good one. Some are better than others. Try best when I can an outward facing bud. This camera sometimes doesn't focus the best, but here's my cut, and there's the bud there. Here's a little bit better view there. So again, outward facing bud eye, because that will be my new cane here as we get toward the spring. There's Veterans Honor there. So a little more cleanup. Once I get the pruning done, any leaves left, I will clean those up. There's a couple left on Affirm there. And then one of the next videos I'll do is kind of the housekeeping of the garden. I've got some oak leaves here, those are fine, but all these dead leaves down here that are roses that have black spot spores on it, maybe some insects. I'll clean all this up, get the bed looking really good, and then probably do either a dormant spray or something for black spot on the canes that are left over, making sure that the leaves are stripped so that this whole bed is no leaves on the ground itself and no leaves on the cane. So as we go into the spring, I will be nice and clean for things to go. So let me know, comment below how you're doing. I'll last leave you with this nice, I think it's oak tree in full bloom here in eastern North Carolina. Have a great day, everyone.